I wanted to start today by saying a few words of gratitude to my colleague and friend, Diana Laffey. Most of you know I consider it a gift when you give me the opportunity to share service here. I love being able to do the music and the talk and the readings, but today I'm unable to sing. I have irritation happening on one of my vocal cords. I've been assured it's nothing that won't heal soon. And Diana graciously agreed to come and sing the music that I had already prepared for this service. So thank you, Diana. So some of you already know that I refer to myself as a performing and healing artist. I've followed both these paths now for over 40 years. I started performing in the early 70s, and I entered the healing arts in the early 80s. My master teachers from both paths have encouraged me to live my life and to teach others to live their lives harmonically well. Some folks in the field call this harmonic well-being. One of the important things that I learned from those teachers is their phrase, the concept, One of the most important things that I learned from the indigenous teachers that I've had in my life is their phrase or their concept of walking in beauty or walking in balance. It's most clearly expressed for me in this Navajo prayer. Great Spirit, teach me how to trust my heart, my mind, my intuition, my inner knowing, and the senses of my body and the blessings of my spirit. Teach me to trust these things so that I may enter my sacred space and love beyond my fear, and thus walk in balance with the passing of each glorious sun. It occurred to me recently that their concept of walking in beauty or walking in balance is the same thing as harmonic well-being. I thought about it originally as being harmonically well. I thought of it as a goal or as an intention for the care of my own body-mind complex, what I wanted my body to feel like, harmonically well. But what came to me during a recent meditation is that when I allow what I know about harmonic well-being to gently align with these indigenous teachings, it becomes so much more than I originally thought. It becomes about the end result of who I am, about who we are. When all our aspects are in balance, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, the natural outcome is that we are harmonic well-beings. True, understanding this is not going to pay my rent, but Carol told us last week in her beautiful service about trees, about how the trees work collectively together. And I believe that when we live our potential as harmonic well-beings, maybe, just maybe, we become an active and useful part of that collective, that whole, quietly and certainly serving and connected to all that is, all that we are a part of. It occurred to me yesterday as I was putting the finishing touches on this talk that if I could sing today, I would sing the song, "We Shall Overcome." And I would encourage us to sing it together, that it would gently guide us right into our becoming centered and grounded as harmonic well-beings. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world will live as one. Balance, harmony, and interconnectedness. This is the kind of energy that flows between us whenever we sing together, whenever we drum together, whenever people make music together, we connect. This energy is fabulous. It flows out of us as resonance, and it nourishes the global community, plants, creatures, and human beings. A few more words from Jamie. She teaches, and I quote, "Life is a sacred path, and every human being who walks the Earth Mother has an individual sacred path in life. That sacred path is created by the weaving of many tangible and intangible events and threads which connect all of our emotions, dreams, thoughts, and experiences. Every decision we make and every shift in our perceptions can alter our path through life and bring new experiences or expanded horizons. Every time we alter our priorities, we change our path. Every time we allow ourselves to use our imagination, we change our view of reality. Every time we decide to change direction, we design and redesign our lifestyles, habits, priorities, personal needs, and goals. Jamie says, if you are alive, you are on a sacred path. Dr. John Veltheim, the founder of the BodyTalk system, one of the modalities that I'm trained in, and one of my master teachers this lifetime, gave us a powerful gift, the understanding about the head brain, the heart brain, and the gut brain. He calls this the three-brain complex. And I can't remember if over the years of my visiting here and speaking that I've taught you this before, but I think of tapping out the three-brain complex as a daily wellness care technique. And I want to teach you two of them today, if that's okay with everyone. These are things you can do every day, and I created actually a couple of handouts. They're on a chair at the back of the sanctuary. When you leave, if you are interested in this, please take one of them. And it has a link, Dr. Veltheim demonstrating the technique as well as explaining the science behind why it works the way it does, which as an artist, apology first, I'm just not that interested in the science if it works, so. But I know many, many people are, and he's brilliant. He was a brilliant teacher. And I'm also going to teach us tapping and linking the three-brain complex. Let's see if I want to tell you any more about that. Not just yet. First, we'll tap out the cortices, but what I do want to say is that what the tapping out of the cortices addresses is coordinated brain function, all the various parts of our brain which get disconnected, discombobulated, out of communication with each other whenever we are in stress. Sometimes electronic, the waves that we're always bombarded with, computers, cell towers, that kind of thing, that can cause a disconnection between the parts of our brain. And because this brain is meant to function as a working collective, this is like hitting the reset button. So it has three parts. One part is we touch various parts of our head. Another part is we tap skull, we tap sternum, and we tap navel. And the third part is breathing. And the breathing is, we refer to this as exaggerated breathing. This is breathing loud enough so you can hear yourself breathing, okay? In through the nose, out through the mouth. So everybody hand here and take a nice deep breath and tap skull, sternum, and navel. And then move this hand up one. And again, tap skull, tap sternum, tap navel. And now move it up again. Tap skull, sternum, breathe, navel. Move it up again. Tap skull, tap sternum, breathe, tap navel. Now the forehead, tap skull, tap sternum, tap navel. And now both hands on the sides of the head. Take one hand off, tap skull, tap sternum, tap navel. Other hand on, this hand off, tap skull, breathe, sternum, navel. Both hands back on for a moment, take a breath. And that's the whole technique. And I always feel it immediately. I always feel like somebody opened a window and air blew through my head, you know. So that's tapping out the cortices, and I always do that one first because what it does is hit the reset button for reconnecting all the parts of the brain, and then I tap out the 3 brain link, because what that does is it links the head brain back in touch with the heart and the gut. And now the head brain, I understand the head brain to be intellect, data storage, reasoning, logic. I understand the heart brain to be the seat of our wisdom. And I understand the gut brain, or they call it the enteric brain, to be the center of our intuitive knowing. And Dr. Veltheim taught us that it was his belief, as also a master yogi, that the 3 brains are meant to function as a single working collective. And when they are, the heart brain takes the lead. And in so many cultures, we've come to value the head brain, and the head brain leads all by itself. But when the 3 brains are working solidly and functioning as the collective that they were meant to be, we lead from the heart. We lead from our wisdom. We lead from our compassion. And so this one is, again, it's tapping the 3 brains, and repeat after me while you tap. I'm linking the brain in my head to the brain in my heart and the brain in my gut. We do this 3 times. I'm linking the brain in my head to the brain in my heart and the brain in my gut. I'm linking the brain in my head to the brain in my heart and the brain in my gut. And if you do this every single day, I mean, just as part of your own personal wellness care, what you will find within days is that when you arrive in situations, your perspective will be expanded. You will suddenly be aware that you'll come to understand what's going on in the world. You'll actually be able to feel, it's an odd word to use, but I'm sorry if that offends anybody. You'll actually be able to feel what is going on. Oh, so-and-so is just angry at so-and-so because they're afraid. I mean, you will be able to see and interpret and respond to the whole situation. So anyway, that's how it works for me. And let's see where I am. You have the handouts for that. If you ever have any questions, my email is on the handouts. I'm more than happy to talk to you, to recommend other things if this is something that that appeals to you. So let's see, disorganized a little bit here. There was a lot of kind of jumping jack activity Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Just like in the old Catholic Church, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I like this one much better. And actually, I was going to share a poem by Clarissa Estes, but I don't seem to have it with me, so I'm going to turn it over to you and our offering. Thank you very much.